What's up, Libra gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. My name's Annie. Happy to have all of the Libras out there, at least those who resonate with that sign, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, including the cross watchers. You guys are always welcome too. We are going to do your monthly June 2020 tarot spread. The beginning half of this reading will be career and finances. The second half will be love, romance, relationships, things of that sort. As always here on YouTube, my general disclaimer, these are general messages. Not everything I say will resonate with all of the Libras out there, so it is up to you guys to come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. I ask that ultimately you only take away messages that resonate with you, that serve you, motivate you, empower you, inspire you, and anything under that wide umbrella. Anything else that feels foreign or strange, feel free to release those messages, drop it like it's hot, as I say. Do have faith that those are going out to someone else who needs to hear them, so as always, don't be offended if it is not your message this time around. It won't always be, right? That's how these general readings work. If you are seeking a personal, there's information down in the box below about how to do that. Otherwise, yeah, everything else in that box is written there below for you, including the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram, as well as .com. Always encourage you to like, share, subscribe wherever you can. That helps me a whole bunch as a reader here on YouTube, right? It helps this channel gain momentum and then grow out there with more subscribers and more followers on YouTube. That's my goal. So yeah, that's about all I got for you. So let's get a few more cards for my Libras and we'll hop in. 2 more cards for love and romance. 6 of Cups, one of my favorites. All right, cool. Let's do it, guys. So you have the card of the Hermit and King of Pentacles. You actually have a good amount of earth energy, which I always love seeing because earth energy tends to indicate money. So you do have the Hermit. This is usually a card of individuality, individualism, frequently entrepreneurs, like, single startups, you doing a lot of the work yourself. It mostly indicates a spiritual journey, going down a new spiritual path, following that little light in your lantern. You're headed towards, your North Star in the sky. So it starts off as something small, like a passion project or a side hustle or something like that. If you were to continue following that path where your passion, your light, your internal intuition, I suppose you could say, is guiding you, there's potential for it to, become something greater. King of Pentacles is the highest, really, king court card, right? So it's Taurus energy for me as a reader. It can be Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yeah, there's something where you may actually be leaving like big business or big corporation. This is frequently like a boss card. It has many different meanings, but in a career spread, if it's not indicating you, and it might be, right? King of the household, whether you're male or female, it's masculine energy who's, has a tight, firm grip on the influx, the flow of finances. It could be that if you feel like something is stopping up your income, particularly a job that doesn't offer you enough or pay you enough, value you enough, you may be choosing to sever ways with it, or at least entertain the idea of going off in a new direction. It doesn't have to mean leaving the company. It could mean, finding a better position within that umbrella that suits you. This, in a weird way, this could even be networking, even though the Hermit is typically, alone, solo. It doesn't indicate multiple people. It could be that you are networking to find a way where you would fit in a new niche or in a new position that would better serve your internal light, your internal happiness and joy. As kind of corny as that may sound, that's sort of what I'm getting from that. And here's the thing, you would be doing it on your own accord. None of this is speaking to me about being fired or being removed from a job. It could be that there's a matter of difference between you and the boss or you and your supervisor. I could absolutely see that the way they're not facing each other. It could be that you have very strong viewpoints on certain things and maybe the person you work with does not always agree. You are seeing things in different ways. But both cards indicate to me, even the way they're positioned, the Six of Swords is a card of forward movement and specifically moving on. That's sort of my gut reaction when I see the Six of Swords, like, oh, you're already past that. Mentally, you're already thinking about what's up around the bend. And it does indicate going from rocky waters, right? So potentially troubled relationships with maybe a boss or a coworker to smooth sailing, right? Smoother shorelines. Mentally, you're detaching from people who just kind of keep you down. With this card, sometimes if it doesn't represent you, if it does represent who or what you're working for or what you're working with, etc., it can indicate like a tight, firm grip on the finances where it doesn't flow naturally, right? Water needs to be in flux. If water represents love in the tarot, it's almost like if it's still, if it's stagnant, well, there's no more love to grow, essentially. So if your love is in what you're doing, the money flow is, in a sense, money is a currency. It's an energy. It needs to flow as well. It could be that it's quite stagnant. And so you may be applying to multiple jobs. Maybe they are in multiple areas of the country or of the city or something about this. There's a dualistic nature of what you're searching for. Some of you may even be searching for a home, specifically because it's earth energy with the Hermit. The idea of like hiding in like a cave, doing like a spiritual thing. You may be doing something about house repairs or looking for like a new place to call home. So if you are, applying to a job and maybe you get it, I mean, this is a very fortuitous card in terms of money. It could be that you would have to move homes or move locations in order to do so. So it almost seems like you're tackling two things at once. What is a good term for that? You're like multitasking. And that's the thing. It's like one impacts the other. So maybe it has to do with your relationships would have to move to it. You know what I mean? It's all centered around, though, this King of Earth. So let's throw a clarifier on that. I apologize. I feel like I have a frog in my throat. And yeah, there is some assessment. So here's what I mean. I do sense that you have two things going on that you're focusing on or challenges that you're trying to work through. One, if not both, do work out positively for you. I do see that with the King of Pentacles. But it's almost like by going forward with one, inadvertently it impacts your other decision. And that's where I don't know if there's something you would have to compromise or there's something that gives you pause. There's something you're very excited to move forward with. And, if it's a new job and you get it, you're like, yes, absolutely. There's a sense of confidence. Like, yep, that's what I want and I'm going for it. Here, it's like you're soul searching. And even if it doesn't have to do with like internal growth, it's almost like searching for the idea of how things could map out, how things would pan out if this scenario were to happen. So I do see you as contemplative, particularly about money or, again, land. Your home, your house, your job, your apartment, whatever that is. Let's clarify. For my Libras, it's so funny. I'm looking at your cards and there's so much earth energy. I almost feel like I'm reading for a Taurus. So I don't know if any of you have strong Taurus or even Virgo in your chart. Could be that you have a rising or a moon sign that is nice and earthy. But yeah, I mean, in terms of money, it actually looks pretty positive. But I do sense that you're feeling pressured by someone. So this could certainly be a parent that's pressuring you. It could also be like a spouse. It could be your boss, again, a coworker, a friend. It feels a little bit stifling, suffocating is sort of what I'm getting. But yeah, you're searching for freedom. You're looking to escape. You're looking to almost recalibrate your scales, Libra, and become like the center of your world again. It could be that you have a lot of people relying on you, depending on you at the job you currently work at. It could also indicate that you have a big family. Maybe you have 4 kids. Maybe you have, multiple marriages and two dear husbands and an ex. And you know what I mean? There could be multiple people, and that's actually very likely what this could be. If you have any sort of I don't know why it's coming through very strongly, but particularly divorce, where you may have children from one marriage and children from another. You moving to a new location could significantly impact your ability to see your family or to raise your kids or something like that. So as much as you may want to go towards your goal and start that thriving career in an area or a field where you're much more passionate about, I think you are giving great thought and detail because, always the scales, you want to be fair and just to all involved. But I will say this, what's coming up here is you do have to focus on what is best for you. And I'm not trying to make it overly simplified, but when you align with your true spiritual path, usually all the minute details have a way of kind of working themselves out. So I wouldn't completely shut yourself off from this idea because you're assuming it could never work, or you couldn't make, the family dynamic or the coworker situation work. This could even be like adapting your situation possibly to like work from home. Yeah, there is growth in your money, but there's also movement away from particularly someone who is suffocating or stifling your creativity maybe, or again, your ability to make money. It could be that you are, you've been at a job where you make a certain amount a year and there's just not a lot of growth there, and maybe you've asked the boss several times, and if they've denied you, if they said, nope, that's where it stops, you're always going to be at this job or this position, I think you're like, all right, well, that's all I needed to hear. Bye. Like, I don't think you're not going to dance with the devil. A darker energy, right? Not always. This is a card of Capricorn. Either way, though, unless you are married to a Capricorn, and maybe you are, maybe you and your Capricorn person are traveling, world travel, nationwide travel, whatever, possible. Not always a bad card. If it's not a Capricorn, though, I don't know. If it is, you're either taking the Capricorn with you or you're moving away from the Capricorn. One of those two options, particularly if that represents your boss. And again, in a career spread, it can. Also, at a higher vibration, this can be extreme determination, ambition, like an unfaltering dedication to the goal or the task at hand. Saturnian energy, which is the planet that rules Capricorn, keeps us really stuck. That's what this card represents. So it's breaking away from like the order and the structure and the rigidity to set yourself free. But it does bring about almost like karmic balance, but it's sort of like hitting reset on your life where everything falls into place again. That's what I mean. I think that's what you really need, like a greater perspective. We can sometimes view this as like the world view. If you were to zoom out and get like the bird's eye view, things would look differently from up above. But when you're right there in the thick of it, sometimes it's hard to know exactly what to do. I think you're moving away from what is keeping you suppressed. And again, that could be a boss, right? If you feel like you're undervalued, a lot of you are going to explore other opportunities. Again, it doesn't have to mean leaving the company, but you're looking for like a new position or something that offers you a better pay grade, someone who recognizes your true value. You have several cards indicating to me movement, change, opportunities elsewhere. And I think it's going to be very positive. Some of you may be worried that in order to pursue your dream job, or again, something that is more in alignment with what you want and desire, you're worried you're going to have to take a pay cut. Even if that is the case, I actually think your pay will improve relatively quickly. This is earth energy. I almost take this to mean, this is all like in metaphor, but if you're starting off 7 of Pentacles and you're like, I got 7 and I really like them, by headed in a new direction and like ditching the devil, ditching the dark energy behind, you quickly jump into 9 of Pentacles energy. So, basic math, you start with the 7 and you get the 2, right? That seems a little bit more positive to me. Something about the numbers too, the way I said them, that might even be symbolic. It could be the numbers 79 or 97. That could be an address. That could be a telephone number. Something about that. The 7 and the 9. That could literally be, something to do with the amount of pay raise or whatever it is, your salary, something like that. Not a bad chunk of change. 79K, I'd take that. No, I'm just kidding. But it could be for some of you. Again, a lot of earth energy. You have this card twice. Swift, rapid action, movement. It's Cupid's love arrows, right? So that indicates to me you're moving towards something that you see as a great avenue for potentially love. Maybe there's a coworker that you're fond of, and maybe you guys are going to go off and start a passionate, new endeavor or business, possible. Everybody's story is a little bit different. But yeah, Cupid's love arrows, you're shooting towards something that you are more passionate about, something that you love. And that's what the devil can be too. It can be extreme passion. For a lot of you, I think you're leaving behind an oppressor. When these two cards come out together, that's sort of what I see. You're someone who, again, undermines you or undervalues you, or simply stagnation, right? Earth energy can be very stuck. Taurus, a card of Taurus. Bull energy, it can be very stubborn. So it could be that you've been trying to break into that new role, into that new job. You've been trying to get that pay raise and it's just not happening. Well, again, I think a lot of you are going to choose to go down a new spiritual path where your world opens up and your ability to receive income that matches your expectations and your desires. That seems to be what you're going after. And I do think after some contemplation, I think you're slowly going to see the results of your decision to move forward. Again, I say relatively soon, and the reason being Earth is the slowest moving energy. But it didn't go 7, 8, 9. It goes from the 7 to the 9. So there's like a quick, I don't want to oversell it, but I don't think you will be disappointed is what I'm going to try and say. Okay. Let's hop into your love life. So Bottom of the deck, you got the Hierophant and the Ten of Cups. All right, well, Libra, that could indicate a very happy marriage. Now, if you're reading this through the lens of a collaboration with a coworker, it could be that you guys go into business together, you commit to being partners, and your business is successful throughout the years. It could be some sort of spiritual business. Maybe you are a spiritual leader, maybe you are a tarot reader, maybe, anything like that. Even like, yoga instructor, something where you connect to mind, body, spirit in some way, right? Artists are very spiritual workers, light workers. But Ten of Cups frequently has to do with family and generations, throughout the years. Not necessarily saying every Libra out there is interested in children, but, maybe you already have children. Maybe you're collaborating with your oldest child on something and, you're going to build something that spans generations. It could also be offering a service that's sort of like a double entendre to families, some type of service that would help families, that would help parents, that would help children, that would create shelters or spaces or schools or neighborhoods or parks, something that would be of service to families who maybe are struggling in some way. Sorry, I know that jumped back to career-wise, but there's a reason that came up. Hopping into specifically romance, you got a mixed bag here. So love seeing the King of Cups come up. You do have multiple kings. Neither one of them are your sword suit. So unless you resonate strongly with earth or water, could indicate that you may have multiple options, particularly if you are seeking male partnership, whether you are male or female. You have some earth king going on and some water king, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But then, my dear Libras, there's some anxiety about needing to make a decision about a cup that was offered to you. Some of you have a water sign on your mind, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. And it might be that you're feeling, it's funny, it's a little bit all over the place. Some of you are feeling pressured because you're not certain how you feel about them. And so you're avoiding an awkward conversation, which I'm guessing maybe has to do with the idea that you're not as interested as they are. But rather than just be forward with it, here's the thing though. I think a lot of you, it's like you're keeping them on the back burner. You're keeping them warm because there's someone else from your past that you're interested in. It could potentially be a Leo or a Capricorn. And it's almost like you're waiting to hear back from that person. And if it doesn't work out, then you're going to come into the water sign potentially. Yeah, I do see you as having options. But something about these options, it's actually kind of driving you a little bit crazy, or it's making you kind of sad or depressed or anxious. This can be a card of being moody, bored, complacent. The fours in tarot are frequently comfort zones. So the thing with that is that there might be a comfortability, a familiarity with this person of the past. But I don't mean to offend, but in the current energy, it seems like this person is not thinking about the past. They are moving away from the past. Again, potentially a fire sign, doesn't have to be. You're the one like longing and wishing and hoping for that person of the past. But again, you have someone else interested in you, potentially a water sign, that either it could just flat out be you're not aware that they're offering a cup to you because you're very much caught up on the past, waiting for that other, and it doesn't have to be the past. Maybe you have two suitors and one you definitely are like more excited about. As it always goes in tarot, sometimes the one that you think you need or the one you want is not always the one that you need. It could be that this water sign has a tremendous amount of love and affection and attention to give you, but you're still a little bit caught up on potentially a fire sign. Or I will say this, if it's not a fire sign, it's someone who's very glitzy, very glamoury. They're probably very beautiful. They're probably very witty and can charm the crowds. There's a lot of attention on them, but here's the thing with this card. I do love the Six of Wands. Generally, it's a card of pride and accomplishments, but sometimes that's taken a little bit too far and it becomes a card of egotistical type energy, kind of cocky, kind of like I'm too good for everybody energy. That is sort of what I'm getting here, and that's why I think you're feeling it too, because they're ignoring you. It could be that they really do have feelings for you, but they're playing hard to get. But yeah, with that, there's some head games involved with this person, so it's not going to be easy peasy. It's like you kind of have to play this person's game, which I don't know about you, but that does not sound like a healthy dynamic to me. You might be vying for their attention and you just feel like you're being ignored or they don't see you. I'll go ahead and clarify and see if we can get more energy on it, but it could be that you have another soulmate trying to come in, but you're resisting it or ignoring it or not seeing it. There does seem to be potentially a fire sign choosing to be single in this, or choosing to walk away and grow as an individual. Oh, it could be someone who's married too. There might be a fire sign that's already taken and committed, in which case that energy makes a lot of sense. That it's not so much to do with cockiness and ego if they are married, it's they're committed. They already have a family and potentially children, and so naturally you are not the forefront of their mind. So yeah, you some of my Libras may have fallen for someone that is not really available. So yeah, that's tough. That's hard. I feel you there. So for my select few Libras, if that's the case, if they've fallen for someone who's married, can we get one card on that? What is any potential outlook for this person to become available again? They are thinking about it. Yeah, they're conflicted about, yeah, there's third party energy here. And again, this can be a card of fighting for someone's attention, but someone is internally conflicted on who they want to build with. So is there potential? Yeah, but it's not crystal clear that they're going to, get a divorce or separate or anything like this. This struggle will be building more and more is sort of what I'm getting. Not to the point where it's going to crumble, but it's like it's almost going to become worse before it gets better. I'm sorry, that's a tough message. But yeah, that's sort of what I see there, particularly if you're dealing with a Leo. Ooh, yeah, so your King of Cups, though, again, male or female, the potentially water sign or someone who's very creative, very dreamy, very intuitive, very empathic, very compassionate. They have soulmate energy with you, and I don't know why, but I am getting this person sees you, but you don't see them, or you don't return the same feeling, because I think you're waiting on that person who might not be available right now. So again, you have free will, Libra. You can choose whoever you want, but I kind of like this water sign, especially if it's fresh and new. And again, sometimes the energy can go reverse. So some of you may be saying, yes, I want to be with this water sign, but they are married. This can sometimes be a card of marriage too. So again, you'll know if it's your story. Don't make it your story if it's not. Tell me about the Six of Cups. I do think this has to do with someone from the past that you're hoping returns. It could potentially be a Capricorn, but it's also saying that it's like rose-tinted glasses, this past person. You may view them in a way that is like you're giving them way too much credit for what they're actually, this person is blocking off the past. This person is not opening up the gates to revisit anything from the past anytime soon. Ooh, and then all my Libras clicked off. I'm sorry. But yeah, you potentially have a new offer coming your way. Nights always bring change and movement into our life. This could also be confirming, don't worry about the love because you got money coming in, and that's going to take up a lot of your time probably in the coming months or in the coming weeks. And then you have, new flirtations coming in. Page of Wands. So I like that too. Something about a fire sign child. I don't know if that means anything. It could be a fire sign that has a child from another marriage or something like that. Or it could be an earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, that has a very lighthearted, I'm sort of just trying to get at like magical wonderment, like the way they view the world. It's full of possibility. So while they're very practical and they can offer you something grounded and stable, there's a part of them that just likes to have fun and enjoy life. And that to me actually seems like it could be like a really nice mix, a nice little blend. So that could be coming in for you. And yeah, maybe who you've almost decided is your soulmate, you may have a change of heart. You may actually decide that there's someone else out there that kind of fits your needs better. So always remain open to the possibility, right? Don't shut off the potential of it all. But yeah, this could be multiple messages coming in for you. So I would stay optimistic, Libra. All right, guys, that's what I got for you. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments down below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye.